the idea for Parallel Kingdom and really the inception of PerBlue was in December of 2007, technically.
I was over at Justin's. We were working on some electrical engineering homework, and it's like 1 in the morning, and we were kind of fed up with working on it, and we just said, okay, well, let's just stop for the night.
And we were like, you know what, we should make another game. And we were like, hey, well, what should we do? And we were like, oh, let's make something for the mobile phone.
Justin knew about the Android phone because he had done an internship at Google the year before.
Let's make it really simple and make a simple role-playing game. That seems like a pretty good genre. Let's make something that's actually fun, that people will actually play. And we could probably spend a lot more time and effort on it if we actually make some money with it.
And we're like, well, we could make a game. We could make a game on the phone where it uses your location because the phones have GPS. And that was the spark of the idea for Parallel Kingdom. Justin and I founded PerBlue in the summer of 2008. We were both out in Seattle at the time working internships.
Really, the core beginning team was created from Andrew and I's friends in college. And there were a lot of people who were very excited around the idea, and it was a very magnetic presentation because people got just so excited about the idea of a location-based role-playing game.
At the time, we were working out of apartments out in Seattle. When we came back, we were still working out of our apartments. The following summer, we were working out of Justin's apartment. The summer after that, my apartment and Justin's. He moved in, and this summer we're finally in actual office space.
So the first actual office, like working in the actual office, which aka Justin's apartment, the one like on Randall Court, it was like the first, like right after graduation, so it was like end of May or something, and I remember it being very hot. And we of course had to set up the office for the people who were there that summer, so we had to finish moving some of Justin's and his roommate's stuff around or out, and it was very warm, and had to go get our crappy plastic tables and set everything up. And I think that was the first couple days of work, was actually just getting the office ready to actually do work.
PerBlue in 2009 was run out of a small apartment near downtown Madison, and there was about 6 people working in the apartment.
It was Justin's Park Street apartment, and I was at a table right across from Andy Gilbertson and Elena, and the tables were touching, so it was like table, and then we were just like, our feet would interlock, and it was really awkward sometimes.
I do have, sometimes I'll bring up some of the old documents we have from then, and there's one where it's a spreadsheet of expenditures. I really kind of want to show this to investors sometime, because the grand total is like $60. It's like, there's 2 entries, I think there's like 2 entries for pizza, and then like we bought a domain for like $10 and like the simpler times.
Yes.
Okay, so the biggest safety hazard removed. So biggest safety hazard in PerBlue, we have a public speaker. So you might notice the smell of gas, obviously due to this, but if you just open the fridge door, it just magically turns on this little gas. So now you smell gas. And all you gotta do is open the door just right, and there you go. That's that.
Make it noted that this never happened before you moved here.
I've come in here and seen that actually.
Right?
At least once.
This is the mobile phone.
Yeah, it's been a few years since.
No.
And since we're recording this, we might as well point out the giant stack of pizza boxes. There we go. Alright. Which is great next to the burning stove. Fire hazard.
Well, there's certainly, I guess the most obvious cultural icon, which we don't have anymore, is Justin's orange couch, which he loves, and is in our apartment basement, and unfortunately didn't make the move to the new office. It's a little old, and it's a sleeper sofa, so it's really heavy.
I've seen us create our culture, which is kind of cool to see. Because I worked at other companies, larger companies before, and like they have the culture, and like you're like, well, how did this get here? You don't really think about it, but it's just kind of there. But like from my perspective now, it's, we actually created our culture, and I actually kind of saw it happening along the way, which was kind of cool.
Every day is fun. Like because everyone here's focused on what they want to be doing, and they're passionate about it. So you can't help but have fun if you're doing what you enjoy. And there's also great conversations because of that. Some horrible conversations, but some great conversations too.
But the cool thing I think about PerBlue Culture is that we've continued to always invest in it, and we're very introspective as a group of people of like when things are going wrong in our culture, and we try very aggressively to change it and steer our culture in a very active, proactive direction. The awesome thing is culture is very much like parenting in the sense of its preventative maintenance. We do changes earlier and we make investments earlier so that we do not have to do substantial changes later.
Personally, I'm proud of how Justin has brought the culture through. I'm proud of how Andrew and John have brought the culture through, how everyone still knows everyone's name. That's kind of a point to like, everyone just, like if you say, well, we have a couple Johns, but if you say John, people are like, okay, they know exactly who you're talking about. They know they can go walk up to him and say hello. They don't feel weird like, oh, I haven't met you before.
Plus, I think we've got a really awesome collaborative work environment. Like a lot of places, it's very siloed. You have the artists over here, you have the designers over here, you have the marketers over here. Whereas us, we work all in the same space, like literally the same room. So you have you're always talking with the developer, the marketing guy, everybody. So that's really awesome from a work perspective and actually getting stuff done as you have that much cross collaboration.
Justin, I'll be nice. Justin's kind of like a perfect analogy for the company, right? Justin kind of is PerBlue in the sense that he's young, he's got ambitions, and he's making his future. I think
there's also a little bit of looking at me as I'm crazy, in the sense of when Justin kind of runs around, and it seems like he's running around doing all this stuff, but no one really understands what I do. And it's really true, and I've tried multiple times to try to figure out how to explain to people what I do, and it's really impossible. And I barely even can reflect on to know what I really do on a day-to-day basis. But for the most part, the relationship between employees and me, I think is a very solid relationship. I work really hard to maintain those connections with people. Every interview candidate who still gets a call from me, people know that they can talk to me, and I feel that there's a trust there. I am extremely thankful for Andrew as a business partner. He has been phenomenal. His support in us working together, resolving all these issues, has really been instrumental and a key ingredient in the success of the company. Even though many times I present like the very charismatic vocal head of PerBlue, and all the public figures, they see me, and Andrew is just as much as a contributor to PerBlue's success as I have been, even though I'm the public one.
As interesting as it might sound to a lot of people, it's like being married to someone. I haven't been married, so I don't know for sure, but a lot of the same things apply. Justin and I have a lot of compliments to each other. He's very business oriented, I'm very game oriented. He's very networking oriented, I'm very technically oriented. I'm not technical networking, person networking, I guess I should clarify. I think that it's been over 3 years I've known him and been working with him a lot. I'm very thankful that we have been able to continue to work together as well as we have. We've certainly learned a lot about each other and grown as a partnership in this.
PerBlue's had an amazing past, but the thing I'm most excited about is the future. Us continue to just double down on location-based gaming. And it's a niche that has been out there and there's lots of excitement about it, but as far as real corporate product success, it's really not been captured. And I think we're one of the biggest players in this space. But what I really look forward to, and I think the team really looks forward to doing, is really just crushing it.